Let us try to fastly revise some of the good questions related to your NEET examination beta, starting from the first chapter to the last chapter of the first year topics initially. Okay, so this is for your NEET 2020. If you have got a paper, you just make sure that you can do that question along with me in the fastest way part of the lesson. So in generally in units and dimensions, if I am going, so the first one, say for example, if I give an equation something like this, alpha divided by t square is equals to f into v plus beta divided by x square. Okay, find the dimensions of, find the dimensional formula, find the dimensional formula or dimensions of alpha and beta. Here t is time beta, v is velocity, and f is the force, and x is your distance. Okay, so v is your velocity, x is your distance, t is your time, and f is your force. Come on, make it fast. You know that in the dimensions you can add or subtract only those physical quantities which have the same dimensions right now. That means if I'm writing f into v, so this will become for me how much? F into v is equals to your, this one is m. Force dimension is nothing but m l t power minus 2. Velocity is l t power minus 1. So this will become for me m l square t power minus 3. The same way, beta divided by your x square should be equal to your how much right now? Beta is nothing but of your dimensions. Beta should be divided right now here. Beta plus x square is added to this one. That means the dimensions of this one must be equal to your how much? M L square t power minus 3, because we can add or subtract only those physical quantities which have the same dimensions. That means beta by x square is ml square t power minus 2, ml square t power minus 3. So beta is equals to m. This L square, if it goes here, this is becoming L power 4 t power minus 3. So f plus fv plus of your beta by v square will also have the dimensions of what beta? You should have the dimensions of your m L square t power minus 3 part of relation. That means alpha by t square must, whatever the dimensions we are having, that must be equal to, I'm writing here right now, see, alpha by your t square must be equal to your m into L square t power minus 3, isn't it? So therefore alpha is equal to how much for me? M. This will become for me L square, t will go up here, so this will become for me t power minus 1. So that will be the dimensions of alpha and as well as of your beta part of your relation. I hope you might have been done this type of a question so many times, but roughly for make you to do it in the faster way, I have given this question. I hope everyone might have been got this question better. So we can add or subtract only those physical quantities which have the same dimensions. The remaining everything is the same way. How do you do the dimensional part of a relation? So let us try to go for the next question right now. Like say for example, if I give you alpha is equals to f into v square divided by your beta square. This one is log e. This is 2 pi beta divided by v square. Okay. So where f is equals to force, f is equals to force, v is equals to velocity, v is equals to velocity. Find dimensions of, find dimensions of alpha and beta. Sure. Make it fast. Alpha and beta part of this. You know that logarithms and trigonometrics doesn't have any dimensions right now. So this total is right now for me what? A dimensionless physical quantity. So I can keep here right now a dotted line. So I can say this one is right now, right with an arrow mark here. So this one will be your dimensionless. Logarithms and trigonometric values will be dimensionless. So alpha must be equal to your f into v square divided by your beta square, isn't it? So for this one, if I'm writing the relation right now, what is the other values we are given right now? So this is 2 pi beta by v square. Dimensionless means that must be equal to 1. So I'm writing here 2 pi beta divided by v square is equals to 1. So this one is a constant. So we don't have any dimension for this one. So this is your beta divided by velocity is, this is L square t power minus 2 because square, whole square kabatti. That is equals to 1. So from this one, I'll be getting the value of beta. So beta is equals to L square t power of your minus 2. So therefore, alpha is equals to your how much? So alpha value is equals to how much for me? F into v square divided by beta square. That means this will be equal to your f dimension is ml t power minus 2 into this one is nothing but l square t power minus 2 divided by your l square t power minus 2 ka whole square. So if I simplify this one, it is l to the power of 4, l to the power of minus 4. So this will be equal to m. This will be equal to l square. That is l cube. That is l to the power of 4. So this will become for me l power minus 1. And this one is t to the power of minus 4, and minus 4. Everything will get cancelled. So this will become for me t power 0. So I hope with this type of a questions you can do it very easily without much. But I'm just trying to revise it in the faster way so that this will be the remember for doing the numericals related to them. Okay, chalo. Next one we'll try to go in dimensional formula. We need to even do some questions related to your errors part of relations. If I fastly revise you some of the formulas related to your error beta. So whenever I'm talking about your operations like in positive, the formula for this one is nothing but of your a plus b. And if I'm writing about your maximum error or maximum absolute error, if I'm trying to talk about right now. So for maximum absolute error, maximum absolute error, it will be delta A plus of your delta B. If I am talking about your maximum relative error, we write this one as delta A plus delta B divided by your A plus B, isn't it? In the same way, if I'm writing about maximum percentage error, it is delta A plus delta B divided by A plus B 100, because we'll be damn surely be getting one question from units and dimensions and errors completely. So this is the way how do we write for the sum. So maximum error delta A plus delta B, maximum relative error delta A plus delta B divided by A minus B, percentage error if I'm talking about delta A plus delta B divided by your A plus of B into your 100. If I'm talking about for the difference, that is A minus B. So the first one is absolute error. How do you write it? Delta A minus of your delta A plus of your delta B. Second one is nothing but of your relative error. This one is delta A plus delta B divided by your A minus of your B. And third one is percentage error. If I'm writing delta A plus of your delta B divided by A minus of your B into your 100. Okay. The same way if I'm talking about multiplication, faster way. If I'm talking about your multiplication, that is A cross B. In this one, absolute error is written as of your A into delta B plus B into your delta A. I hope you remembered it very fast. Number two, if I'm talking about the relative error, how do you write the relative error? Delta A by A plus of your delta B by your B. If I'm talking about the percentage error, so percentage error is delta A by your A plus of your delta B by B into 100. Okay. In the same way, if I'm writing for the relation right now, so I hope everyone got it right now for this one. So for this one is A into delta B plus B into delta A. And if I'm writing for the relative error, delta A by A plus delta B by B. And if I'm talking about your percentage error, delta A plus delta A by A plus delta B by B into your 100 part of the relation. Is it clear for everyone? Sure. Let us try to go for the next one. That is nothing but division. If I'm going for your division, so it is A divided by your B. If I'm talking about the absolute error, so it is B into your delta A plus A into your delta B divided by your B square. Isn't it? In the same way, relative error, if I'm writing, there is no change. So it will be same as that of your multiplication. So delta A by your A plus of your delta B by your B. Percentage error is nothing but delta A by A plus of your delta B by B into your 100. If I'm talking about your power, like say A to the power of n something, if it is given right now. If I'm writing the absolute error is nothing but whatever power you are taking n, this one is A n minus 1 into your delta A. The same way, if I'm talking about relative error, n into delta A by your A. If I'm talking about percentage error, n into delta A by A into your 100. So these are some of the formulas which you need to remember for the doing numerical questions better. Like say for example, if I give you a small question for this one, say for example, the change in velocity of body, the change in velocity of a body is 12.5 plus or minus 0.2 meter per second. Okay, in a time 5.0 plus or minus 0.3 seconds. So stop. Find the average acceleration. Find the average acceleration of the body. Average acceleration of the body within error limit. Come on, see how fast you can do it, or take a 30 seconds of a time and try to do the question related to that one. Change in velocity of the body is given as 12.5 plus or minus 0.2. In a time 5.0 plus or minus 0.3 participation. So velocity is given for me 12.5 plus or minus, this is 0.2 meter per second. And time is given as of your 5.0 plus or minus, it is 0.3 seconds. Okay, and this one is meter per second. So what is an acceleration? Directly first one, if I'm writing this one, 12.5 divided by your 5.0. So it is 2.5, that is nothing but 2.2, so it is 2.5 meter per second. If I'm writing the error for this one, delta A by your A is equals to plus or minus of delta V by V plus delta T by your T participation. I hope you remember this one. So if I substitute the values here right now, this is a plus or minus, the delta V value is 0.2 divided by 12.5 plus this one is nothing but 0.3 divided by T value is given as of your 5.0. Okay, so simplified, we'll be getting the answer for this one is equals to how much? Delta A by A is equals to 0.5 divided by 12.5 plus 0.3 divided by 5.0. So whatever the value I'll get here calculated, so that delta A must be equal to this value into your A value. So that means this value is approximately I'm getting as delta A by your A is equals to plus or minus of 0.08. That means delta A is equals to how much for me? Plus or minus 0.08 into 2.5. Okay, 25 8s are, that will become for me approximately 20, that will get cancelled. So this will be plus or minus 0.2. That means delta A I got as 0.2. So A is equals to what is the answer now? 2.5 plus or minus 0.2 will be the answer, meter per second. I hope you got an idea to do such type of equations. Okay, simple conditions also. Let us try to go for one more question. A famous question which you might have been done so many times. The time period of oscillation, of simple pendulum. See, NTA is not having any new created type of a questions better, almost like a regular. Only thing is with the numerical change, because in the NEET examination or in the NTA examinations which we have seen for the JEE Mains recently, all of them are questions which you generally find in the books by just changing the values. So if you can remember the formulas, 80 to 90% problems you can do it very easily. So this time NTA's September session of physics paper was damn easy compared to their mathematics and chemistry. So we can also expect that physics paper this time will also be directly formula based. But only thing is you need to do the fastness. Fastness counts a lot right now in the tomorrow's examination, whichever you are going to write. Anyhow, the time period of oscillation of a simple pendulum is given by T is equals to say 2 pi under root of your L by G. What is the accuracy? What is the accuracy in the determination of G if 10 centimeter length is known to 1 mm accuracy? Right here once again, 1 mm accuracy. Very good question, beta. Accuracy and 0.5 second time period. 0.5 second time period is measured from time of 100 oscillations with a watch of 1 second resolution. So try to do this one. The time period of a simple pendulum is given by T is equal to 2 pi under root of L by G. And what is the accuracy in the determination of the G if 10 centimeter length is known to 1 mm accuracy? and 0.5 second time period is measured from a time of how many oscillations? 100 oscillations with a watch of 1 second resolution. See here, what exactly is given in the problem is nothing but change in length by your original length. It is nothing but 0.1 divided by your 10. And delta t is given how much in the problem? Delta t is equals to 1 second. And time of how much for me? And the time of, see how much? 100 oscillations. So if I'm talking about time of your 100 oscillations, so t will be equal to how much better? That 100 oscillations into your 0.5. So that will come out for me 50 seconds. అంతే కదా. So because he is given 0.5 written for how many oscillations? 100 oscillations. So t is equals 100 oscillations into 0.5, that is equals to how much for me? 50 seconds. Now if I'm writing the error in the time, delta t by t is equals to, this will become for me 1 by 50. This is the thing which you should know how to get it out. Then the remaining thing is everything is fine for me. T is equals to 2 pi under root of your L by G. So t square is equals to 4 into pi square. This is nothing but L by G. Now from this one, G is equals to how much for me? 4 into pi square. This is L by your t square. Now just write an error for this one. How do you write? Delta G by your G is equals to plus or minus. This will become for me delta L by L plus 2 into delta T by your T. Only thing is, the thing we need to understand is to write this one in the time. L to L. 0.5 and 100 oscillations have been given kada. Adi rayadam telisipothe, the remaining everything is right now for me same. You can just substitute the values and get me the answer for that one. So the substitutions if I'm doing right now, this will be equal to percentage another kabatti you just multiply with 100 on both the sides. So it is also your into 100. So this delta L by L is nothing but of your how much for me? Plus or minus, this is 0.1 divided by 10. Plus this one is 2 into 1 divided by 50 into your 100. So if you simplify it, we'll be getting the answer approximately for plus or minus of your 5%. Clear? Sure. The next one is nothing but of your least count of Vernier scale or Vernier calipers. Isn't? I hope you remembered right now for that one. So Vernier constant is always equals to how much better? Whatever the measure we are writing right now for the given condition, n Vernier scales must be equal to, if I'm talking about your least count of your Vernier scale, n Vernier scales will be equal to n minus 1 main scale readings. N minus 1 main scale reading. That means if I'm writing one Vernier scale, that is equals to n minus 1 divided by your n. So Vernier constant will be equal to how much better? If I'm talking about Vernier constant is equals to your 1 main scale reading minus 1 main scale reading minus 1 Vernier scale. So that will be equal to 1 minus, this is n minus 1 divided by your n. So if I simplify it, this will become for me how much for me? 1 main scale reading divided by your n. So which is equal to the value of the smallest division of any main scale divided by the total number of divisions on your Vernier scale part of relation. You know how to take the errors right now. If the zero error is there right now, the zero mark of the main scale and Vernier scale do not coincide, then necessary corrections to be taken better. If the zero of the Vernier scale is to the right, then zero of the main scale error is to be positive. E points are really very important. I hope this one is Vernier constant formulas also, and you already know these relations also. These are very, very important generally for the examinations. Now, if I'm talking about if the zero of the Vernier scale is to the right of the main scale, then zero error is said to be positive beta, and correction to be made for that one is what? Negative. I hope everyone knows that one. The zero error is always subtracted from the reading to get the correct value beta. Now, if the zero error is positive, then the value is to be calculated. We take on normal reading. That means if the zero error is negative of the Vernier scale, it will lie to what? Left of the zero of the main scale. That means negative error will always be calculated by how much beta? I hope you remember right now this one. Negative error, negative zero error. Negative zero error is equals to minus of your total number of your Vernier scale division minus of Vernier scale division coinciding into least count. That will give me the negative error. Okay, so that will always give the answer for that one. And screw gauge are some of the instruments. You need to remember what do you mean by the pitch, how do you measure the length of your screw gauges. That all things also you should revise it in the faster way for your doing an examination questions better. That will help you out for your examinations. So make sure that you try to do some questions related to that one also with respect to the differentiation conditions, negative error, positive error, particulation, maxima, minima conditions, some of the problems related to that one. If I'm going for the vector, some of the questions already, I hope 90% of you know the formulas related to your errors, what do you call the vectors particulation. So if I give you some basic standard questions, let's see how far you can recollect and try to give me the answer, because the questions will be not a very, what do you call that one, innovative, but only thing is remembering formulas and trying to get the answer in the fastest way. So let us try to go for right now the vectors particulation. Now, if I give you some vector like this one, beta, if p bar is equals to 2i cap plus of your 4j cap minus of your 5k cap, find the direction of cosines of vector p bar. Anyone you can tell me, but I need not do all of the thing. You just try to remember how do you try to do it out. That's what I need to get it. So if I'm writing the cos on the along x-axis, it is cos alpha is equals to px by over p. That is nothing but mod p. If in the same way cos beta along your y-axis I'm writing, so this one is py by mod of your p. The same way cos of your gamma is equals to your pz divided by mod of p. So mod, you know how to take it out. Tell them faster. Mod p is equals to under root of you. This one will become for me p x square plus of your p y square plus of your p z square. So if I'm simplifying this one, this is under root of your 2 square plus 4 square plus this one is minus of 5 whole square. 2 square is 4, 4 square is nothing but 16, 5 square is 25. So that comes out for me root 45. So if I'm writing about cos alpha, so cos alpha is equals to px divided by mod p. Px value is 2 by root of your 45. Like that, remaining answers you can also write for the given conditions and you can get the answers for that one. I hope you also know how to write the resultant vectors particulation. That is also very important for that one. And how to take the area of triangle, area of a parallelogram law, and determinants in the vector product, that also are very important for the given condition. So let us try to revise one more question related to this one. Let's see how far you remember this one. Say for example, I have given you some forces. Tell me the answer in the fastest way in the chat box. F is equals to 2i cap plus of your 3j cap minus of your k cap. This one is nothing but of your newtons. And r bar is equals to, this one is I cap minus of your j cap plus of your 6k cap. So I need to calculate the torque. Find torque. Find torque of this force. Isn't? So what is the formula? So formula for this one is R is equals to your, so tau is equals to your, so tau is equals to your R bar cross F bar. That's it. So this one is I, J, and K. So I'm leaving the calculation for yourself. It is 1, this is minus 1, this is 6, this is 2, this is 3, this is minus 1. Just simplify it. If I need the value of your I, close the I, cross multiply this one. If I need the value of J, close the J and cross multiply this one. If I need the value of K, close the K and cross multiply this one. So if I'm writing this one, if I'm writing I cap, close the I. So this will come for me 1 minus of your 18 plus the same way J cap if I'm drawing. So it is 2 6 12 plus of your 1 plus this one is nothing but of your K cap. If I'm close the K cap to 1 is nothing but 3. This one is nothing but of your 2. Minus of minus will become for me plus. So this will become for me minus 17 I cap plus of your 13 J cap plus of your 5 K cap. So that will be your answer for the given question. So I hope such type of questions you can do it out very easily. So what are the basic formulas in this one you need to remember better? One is an addition of vectors. If I'm writing R bar is equals to your A bar plus of your B bar. So magnitude of the R is given by under root of your A square plus B square plus 2AB into your cos theta. Now how do you get the direction in this one better? Tan alpha is equals to, this one is nothing but of your mod B into your sin theta divided by mod A plus of your mod B into your cos theta. The same way for the subtraction of a vectors, if I'm going A bar minus of your B bar is equals to under root of your, this one is A square plus B square minus 2AB into your cos theta partition. Okay. And scalar multiplication formulas, you know, A bar dot B bar is equals to mod A mod B into your cos theta. Theta is the angle between the two vectors. The same way if I'm going for the vector multiplication, A bar cross B bar is equals to mod A mod B into your sin theta followed by the direction. And the unit n cap is nothing but unit vector which has been perpendicular to your A bar and as well as of your B bar part of relation. I hope you can do such type of questions comfortably. Okay, sure. So roughly I think we have done almost all the good level of your revision of the first topics, whatever we have taken. Let me do some of the questions right now for this one. See this question, you can try to do it or not. Say for example, the mean length of an object, the mean length of an object is 5 centimeters. Okay, which of the following is most accurate? Give me the answer in the chat box. First one is 4.9 centimeter, second one is 4.805 centimeter, and third one is 5.25 centimeters, and fourth one is 5.4 centimeters. Significant figures కూడా rules అన్ని ఒకసారి రివైజ్ చేయాలని ఖచ్చితంగా. So you need to revise even the significant rules faster. The mean length is given for me better. That is nothing but 5 centimeters. The mean length of an object is 5 centimeter. Which of the following is most accurate part of a relation? Try to do it out fast. Anyone? Can anyone give me the answer? You need to check with the options right now, beta. See, fastest way is delta L minus pi. First one you try to do 4.5. That will be 0.1 centimeters. If I go for the next one, that is nothing but 5 minus, that is 4.805. That is approximately 0.195 centimeters. If I'm checking with the errors right now, delta L3 is equals to, this one is nothing but how much for me? 5.25 is larger number, so it is 5.25 minus of 5. So this will become for me how much for me? 0.25 centimeters. The same way, if I'm checking the error with the last one, it is nothing but 5.4 minus 5. With the given options, I'm checking it so that I can reach the answer in the fastest way. 0.4. Now, delta L is least for what? 4.9, that is 0.1, 0.195, 0.25, 0.45. So what will be your answer right now? Hence 4.9 centimeter will be most accurate answer for the given question. I hope you can do this one, such type of questions basically. చేసుకుంటారు కదా. Percentage error problems, such type of questions, you can maximally manageable, you can do it out better, it's not a problem. Can anyone tell me the answer for this question in the fastest way? Tell me significant figures for me. Yeah. Significant figure for the numbers 23.023, 0.0003 and 2.1 into 10 to the power of minus. So first option is 4, 4, 2. Second option is 5, 1, 2. Third option is 5, 1, 5. And fourth option is 5, 5, 2. See faster. So what is the answer? Number of significant figures I need better. That's it. See this one. Now, according to the rules, if I'm writing, it has all the zeros in between the two non-zero digits will be significant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this has 5 significant figures. So for this one right now, all the zeros to the left of your non-zero digit will always be what for me? Insignificant. So it is only one significant figure for this one. This is 2.1. Power has no units, so it has only how many two significant figures? 2. So what will be the correct answer for me? 5, 1, 2 will be the answer for the given question. I hope you can do such type of questions now. Sure. Let us try to revise faster way the kinematics, both part 1 and part 2. First formula which you generally revise or you know should be knowing is V is equals to your dx by your dt for the numericals part. Second one is A is equals to dV by dt. Don't feel that, sir, I already know this one, so why you are telling? Okay, I'm just revising it for the faster way. D square x by your dt square, and that will be equal to next one is V into your dV by your dx part. In the equations of motion, so already know, everyone knows, I'm not writing that one. If I'm going for the projectiles, the time of flight formula T is equals to 2u into sine theta divided by g. And the next one is nothing but range formula. R is equals to u square sine 2 theta divided by your g part of relation. And maximum height reach formula H is equals to this one is how much for me? U square into sine square theta by your 2g. The sixth one is nothing but equation of trajectory. I hope everyone remember this one. Y is equals to x into tan theta minus g into your x square by 2 into your u square, and this one will be secant theta, secant square theta, sorry. And then, isn't it? For maximum range, theta should be 45 degrees, and for the complementary angles, the range will be same. What are they, beta? Theta and 90 minus of your theta. If I'm talking about the projectile from the inclined, projectiles on inclined plane, if I'm talking about the projectiles on an inclined plane, time of flight formula, it is same, that is 2u into sine. It is just alpha minus of your beta divided by g into your cos beta. So this is actually the rough diagram for this one. This is your incline. This incline is making an angle of your beta. And from this one, you are projecting a, what do you call that one, particle right now here, right now, so that it is making a projectile and hitting the plane somewhere here. An angle made by this one is right now how much for me? Alpha. So time of flight formula is T is equals to your 2u sine alpha minus beta divided by g into your cos beta. The range formula is very important for that one. R is equals to 2u square into sine alpha minus beta into your cos alpha divided by your 2 into your cos square beta. Okay, so these are some of the important formulas you need to remember. The same way, if I'm talking about your relative velocity. Okay, in relative velocity, we go for the rain and umbrella problem, river and boat problem. So velocity of A with respect to B will be equal to VA minus of your VB. So this is your VA, and this one is nothing but VB, making an angle theta. Then how do you write in terms of an angle? Relative velocity of A with respect to B is equals to under root of your, this one is VA square plus of your VB square minus, sorry, this one is minus 2 VA VB into your cos theta. Isn't if it is making an angle right now, say for example this theta, if I'm writing, so this is right now for the direction whatever if I'm writing right now, so tan alpha is equals to your VB into your sine theta divided by your VA minus VB into your cos theta part of relation. So this will be the resultant of this one making an angle that is nothing but alpha, relative velocity of A with respect to your B. So these are some of the standard formulas which you should able to remember while doing the problems related to your river and boat problems better. So like say for example, you get a question something like this. Say for example, a boat in a speed, or say with a speed, sorry, the speed of 5 meter per second in still water. In still water crosses the river, of width 25 meter in 10 seconds. Okay, the boat is heading at an angle alpha with downstream where alpha is equal to this is a given diagram for me. So this is your shore and this one is its displacement, and it is going like this, and velocity is v. This is making an angle theta. This angle is nothing but alpha, and width of this one is given as a 25 meter. 1 minute question. Generally we get such type of questions, you need to remember that one. So time taken to go from one point to the another point. So you see your boat in a speed is of how much? 5 meter per second in still water, crosses the river of width 25 meter in 10 seconds. This is the time 10 seconds. The boat is heading at an angle alpha with the downstream, isn't it? With the downstream where alpha is equal to how much? The first calculate time taken to go from here. If I resolve it into components right now, beta, this is cos, this is nothing but of your sine. So if I resolve the component, this is nothing but v cos theta. Along this direction, this will be equal to v into sin theta. So time taken to cross this one will be equal to how much for me? T is equals to the width, whatever he has given, 25, divided by your v into your sine of theta. Time taken is given how much for me? 10. That is equals to 25 divided by velocity is given how much for me for the board stream? 5 into sine theta. So simplify 5 ones are 5 5s are. So that will come for me tan sine theta is equals to 1 by 2. So therefore alpha will be equal to how much for me? 180 minus of theta. So theta value is equals to how much right now for me? 60. So it will be equal to 150 degrees. So answer for that one come out for me or 150 degrees. Clear? Then sure. I hope you can do such type of equations. Sure. Next one is, say for example, this one. Say for example, a man holds umbrella. A man holds umbrella at 30 degrees with the vertical. 30 degrees with the vertical to keep himself dry. He then runs at a speed of 10 meter per second and finds the raindrops to be hitting vertically. Speed of the raindrops with respect to the running man. And with respect to the earth are. Okay, I'll give the options. First option is 20 meter per second, 10 meter per second. Second option is 10 meter per second, 20 root 3 meter per second. Third option is 10 root 3, 20. And fourth option is 20, 10 root 3. Units already same velocity about meter per second. The reason for writing for me the question is, by the time you can take the data and try to see how far you are able to recollect the formula and get the question for that. So first try to draw the diagram. A man is holding the umbrella at 30 degrees with the vertical to keep himself dry. He then runs at a speed of 10 meters and finds the raindrops to be hitting vertically. The speed of the raindrops with respect to the running man when with respect to the earth. Two questions are right now. So now what is the velocity of your man he has given better? Velocity of your man is equals to 10 meter per second. This is given for me. Now if I'm taking the diagram for this one in terms of a vector, this is the velocity of your rain with respect to what? Earth. With respect to earth, making an angle of your 30 degrees. So this is the velocity of rain with respect to your man, and this is the velocity of your man. Okay, now. So this is the velocity of rain with respect to man. This is the velocity of rain with respect to earth. Vm is the velocity of man. So from the given figure, I'm just apply the trigonometry. Sin theta is equals to rho. Velocity of man by velocity of rain with respect to earth. So velocity of rain with respect to earth is equals to, that is nothing but velocity of man divided by sin 30. Sin 30 is 1 by 2. So it is nothing but 10 divided by 1 by 2. So that will be equal to 20 meter per second. See, any option is there with the first 20. So this is the first option which we are having that 20. And there is also what is the speed of the raindrop with respect to the man and with respect to earth. With respect to earth ante man daggara 1, 2, 3. So smartly I can go because this is with respect to the man and with respect to the earth and with respect to the earth I got already 20. So third must be the answer. But I need not do the third first option calculation also. Anyhow, velocity of rain with respect to man will be equal to how much? Velocity of rain with respect to man into your cos 30. Velocity of rain with respect to man means this component. We are equal component along this direction. So if I take that component on this direction right now, this one is nothing but VRE into your cos 30 in this direction. And this one is VRE into sin 30 in this direction. So this will become for me how much for me? This is nothing but 20. Cos 30 is nothing but root 3 by 2. So that comes out for me 2 ones are 2 tens are. This one is 10 into root 3 meter per second. Is that clear? Okay. I've done some small good questions in my what you call that YouTube video also. Better there is some good collection of the questions on brain and board problems. So please try to go through it in the faster way if we can able to do it out, taking some time basically that will help you out for your faster revision basically. So I hope you got a rough idea related to this one. కొన్ని projectile questions, I hope if you can remember, we can try to do them so that it will be helpful for your exam. Chalo, let us try to say this question in the fastest way. The horizontal range of a projectile, the horizontal range of a projectile fired at an angle of 15 is 50 meters. First off, if it is fired with the same speed at an angle of 45, its range will be faster. చెప్పండి అందరూ వచ్చేసిండాలి ఆన్సర్ ఇప్పటివరకు. Range formula already you know when it is a maximum. So range formula is 50 is equals to your u square into sine of first angle is nothing but how much for me? 30 divided by g. So r dash is equals to how much for me? U square into your sine 2 into 45, that will be equal to 90 divided by your g. So take the ratio of this one. It is r dash by 50 is equals to. So this everything will get cancelled. So that will become for me how much? 2 times. And then so r dash is equals to how much for me? 2 into 50, that is equals to 100 meters. Isn't it? So ilane untai questions. There will be no much difficulty of the given situation. So where you need to waste of the time for the given questions related. Okay, next question చూసుకున్నాం సార్ తొందరగా. Centripetal acceleration, centripetal part, ఇవన్నీ కూడా మీకు ఐడియా ఉండాలా. So I hope you can do such type of questions also. చలో projectile questions చేయండి అన్న. That is more important for your examination. Graph questions also you can do it out. Yeah, see this question better. If you can do the projectile conditions right now. The projectiles A and B thrown with velocities v and v by 2 have the same range. First of all, if B is thrown at an angle of 15 degrees to the horizontal, A must have been thrown at an angle. Come on, try to do it. First option is sine inverse of 1 by 16. Second option is sine inverse of 1 by 4. And the third option is 2 times of sine inverse of 1 by 4. And fourth option is 1 by 2 sine inverse of 1 by 8. Take a minute of your time and try to do it, whether you can recollect the question and try to do the problem. Try, come on, try to do it out better. I'm giving 1 minute time. Should have given me the answer till now. Two projectiles A and B are thrown with velocities v and v by 2 have the same range. Range is same for that one. You just need to write the range formulas and equate it. You should get the answer till now. So if I'm doing right now, say this one. Yeah. So for projectile A, if I'm writing for A, range R is equals to v square into sine 2 theta by over g. For the B, the range will be equal to how much better? R is equals to, this one is nothing but of your how much for me? Range for the B part, if I'm writing, it is v square into your sine 2 into 15 divided by 2. V by 2 another kabatti, this is nothing but 4. So for both of them, it's same kabatti. If I'm replying this one, so this will come out for me how much for me? V square by this will become for me 8g. So I can equate both of them as the ranges are same. So v square by 8g is equals to, this one is v square into sine 2 theta divided by g. So this v square, this g will get cancelled right now. So if I'm writing the theta, so theta is equals to 1 by 2 sine inverse of your 1 by 8. So what is option I can choose right now? 1 by 8, the fourth option. 1 by 2 sine inverse of your 1 by 8 part of relation. That is your answer for the given question. Okay, sure. Give me the answer for this question, beta. The equation of trajectory. Past tense is very important for me. The equation of your trajectory of oblique projectile is y is equals to x minus 1 by 2 into x square. So stop. The time of flight is the time of flight will be the time of flight of projectile will be. Okay, I'll give the options for this one. 2 by root g. Second option is 3 by root g. Third option is 4 by root g. And fourth option is 2 root 2 divided by g. Come on, try to do it out. Compare with the standard equation better. The standard equation y is equals to x into tan theta minus this one is g into x square divided by 2 into u square into secant square theta or 1 by cos square theta. So this one is nothing but cos square theta. So comparing with the given equation, y is equals to x minus 1 by 2 into your x square. So theta value will become how much for me? Here it is x, theta value or 1 kabatti. So theta value will become for me 45 degrees, isn't it? And u value will be equal to how much better right now? So u square is equals to u. This one is nothing but a your root 2 into your g. So from the given formula, if I'm writing, so u is equals to root 2 into your g. So time of flight formula t is equals to 2u into sine theta divided by g. So that will become for me 2 by root g will be the answer. And then, so what is an option for me? 2 by root g. So this will be your answer for me. Okay. Sure. Newton's laws. Newton's laws, we need to remember the some of the free body diagram questions. How do you write the free body diagram conditions? And how do you write the momentum in terms of your force and blah blah conditions? That is more than enough. The first formula, which is very important to be remembered, is force formula. F is equals to your dP by your dP by dt. That is equals to your m into your a part of relation. And you know how to draw the free body diagrams of part of relation. I hope I need not tell you. Like say for example, if I give you something, a question like this. Find the magnitude of the force acting on this one. Say, for example, this is a pulley, and here there is a block of, say, for example, 10 kg. And here is right now string right now. So force exerted by the string on the pulley will be equal to, the question is force exerted by string on pulley. That is a question. Come on, first, make an FBD for this one clearly. So forces for this one is nothing but 10G in the downward direction. And here is a tension T. This is your tension T. This is your right now the tension T. And here also the tension T, equal and opposite direction. So here in this one, T will be equal to 10 into G. G value is nothing but 10. Nothing is given property. This will be equal to 100 Newton. If I'm taking on the pulley, this is your pulley. On the pulley, there is one force in this direction and one force in this direction. That means the normals acting on this one is nothing but of your, this one is your En2, and there is another normal acting on this one. This is nothing but of your En1. That means force exerted by this one will be equal to how much for me in this direction. This is the resultant. That is nothing but A. That means this is equal and opposite to this tension T and T part. That means this T will be equal to T resultant will be equal to under root of your 10 value, T value, how much I got? 100. So this one is nothing but of your 100 whole square plus this one is also your 100 whole square. So that will become for me how much for me? 100 into root 2. So that will be your answer for that one. Simple condition, isn't it? When two blocks are being connected and moving and two blocks are being given. So such type of equations are also very, very important. Like say, for example, we have got a situation somewhere like this. Say, for example, we have a block like now, and in this one, there is another block like this. And this is kept on horizontal surface. This one, say, for example, some 50 kg, and this one is, say, for example, 1 kg. This is B, and this one is, say, for example, A. Block of 50 kg is being kept on another block of mass, how much beta? 1 kg. This one is nothing but 1 kg. Okay. And horizontal force of, say, for example, if I'm applying 10 Newton is applied on 1 kg. If I'm saying that on your 1 kg part, if I'm applying a force, a horizontal force of 10 Newton is been applied. So here it is nothing but of your 10 Newton. All the surfaces are like, say, for example, smooth. All surfaces are smooth. All surfaces are smooth. Now, if I'm talking about right now, what is an acceleration of? The question is right now for me, acceleration of A with respect to B is equal to how much? And second one is, force exerted by the B on your A will be equal to how? This is the question. See how many of you can try it out. Okay, two blocks, 50 kg, 1 kg is kept on a smooth. All the surfaces are smooth, isn't it? So right now, if I'm taking the free body diagram of a 50 kg, so this one is nothing but of your 50 G in the downward direction. There is a normal acting on that one. There is nothing but N2. And down there is another block right now. On this one, we are having a force of how much? 10 Newton. And there is a normal because of the ground. That is nothing but N1. This is exerting the normal N2 in the opposite direction. That is nothing but N2. And weight of this one, 1G in the downward direction. So for the first block, if I'm writing the relation right now, okay, for this one, if I'm writing this N2 will be equal to how much better? This N2 will be equal to 50 into your 10. So that will be equal to 500 Newton. So N2 value I got 500 Newton right now. As it is moving in the front direction right now, isn't as it is moving in the front direction. So F must be equal to how much for me? F is equals to your M into your E. So force is equals to mass into acceleration. Force is 10. Mass is nothing but 1 into this is the acceleration. This is a block A and this is your block B. So what is an acceleration of A? I'll be getting acceleration of A is equals to 10 meter per second. Acceleration of A is 10 meter per second part of relation. So that is your answer for me. Then along the vertical direction, if I'm writing the forces, force exerted by the B on your A. So what is the force exerted by the B on your A part of relation? So force exerted by B on your A will be equal to N2. Isn't it? Along horizontal, there is no acceleration for this one. Acceleration of the B will be equal to 0. Acceleration of your A is equals to your 10. So this will be the answer. Along vertical direction, if I'm taking beta, this one is N1. That will be equal to your how much? N2 plus 1G in the downward direction. Because N2 is the downward direction, N1, 1G is also downward direction. So I can get this value of N1. So that N1 value is equal to how much for me? 500 plus of your 10. So that will be equal to 510 Newton. If he's asking the problem. Otherwise, that is a fine distance. Okay. No? And we have to know even such type of questions right now. Yeah, this one, Jordan. This is very important and good question. Everyone, you try it out. A horizontal force is applied, and horizontal force is applied on a uniform rod of length, capital L, kept on a frictionless surface. Find the tension in rod. Find a tension in rod at a distance x from the end where force is applied. Okay. So this is a given diagram for us. So this one is your condition. And here is some dot right now. The total distance of this one is given as for me L. And this one is nothing but of your X. And you're applying the force on this one. This is the direction of your force. Now read the question and try to see what is the value of that. Very, very important model. Already you might have been done so many times. An horizontal force is applied on a uniform rod of length L kept on a frictionless surface. Find the tension in the rod at a distance X from the end where the force is applied. That means from here to here, the force has been applied right now here. So the distance of X we need to calculate. See, when you apply the force on this one, this body will move with an acceleration E. So what is an acceleration? First you calculate the acceleration. Fa is equals to F by your F. Now if I take an FBD for this one, what are the forces acting on this one? See, for the free body diagram after your X I'm taking. This is your distance of your X. You are applying the force in this direction. There is nothing but a free F. Tension is been applied in the opposite direction. That is nothing but a your T, isn't it? Now, this is a free body diagram. So as it is moving in the front direction with an acceleration A, so we'll be writing this capital F minus T is equals to. This is nothing but of your dm into your A. This is the mass which is being cutted. This is nothing but of your cutted mass. How do you write the cutted mass beta? Cutted mass is nothing but of your cutted mass by original mass is equals to Cutted length by original length. Cutted length by your original. Cutted length means x. That means dm value will become how much for me? F minus t is equals to the dm value is equals to your m into x divided by your l into acceleration. Acceleration already I got f by your m. So this will become for me f divided by your m. See, anything is getting cancelled in this one. This m will get cancelled right now for this one. So it is f minus of your t is equals to f minus t is equals to f into your x divided by your l. So all the f terms you take on one side right now. So this will become for me t is equals to f minus, this one is m by l into your x. Mm gets cancelled right now. So I'll directly write the value of your x right now. So this will be equal to your x by your l into your f. F into your x divided by your. So t value is equal to t value f, if I'm taking common, it is 1 minus x by l. So this is the value of your tension. From other end content, that will become for me L minus x. So you can substitute and simplify it accordingly as per the given question. I hope you can do such type of questions, isn't it? Sure. See this question better. Roughly only to revise your free body diagram conditions. Otherwise, I hope everyone knows these conditions. You can simplify it. Say for example, I'm giving a situation right now here. Two blocks, M1 and M2. M1 and M2 are placed on a smooth inclined surface. Are placed on a smooth inclined plane as shown. Everyone tried it better. If they are released from rest, okay, find number A, acceleration of M1 and M2. This is a given diagram right now. This angle is given as 30 degrees. This angle is given as 60 degrees. And we are having one block here right now. And we are having one block here right now. This one is say for example M2. This one is say for example M1. And here there is a pulley which has been fixed to this one. And this string is passing through this one like this. And mass of this one is right now say for example √3 kg. And this one is say for example of your 1 kg. This is given data. Acceleration of M1 and M. Fastly. Number 2, tension in string. And third one is net force on pulley. Okay, by string. Sure. Just tell me the equations better. So if I'm talking about the first one right now, this is a block. I'm writing FBD, so remaining part you can do it out. Angles made by this one is, this angle is given how much for me? 30 degrees. Tell me what all the forces are acting on this one. Weight of the body, that is nothing but of your M1G in this downward direction. Normal for this one, so there is one normal acting on this one. This is nothing but of your N1. Tension in the string, here it is a tension in the string. And the body is moving in the downward direction with an acceleration A. An angle is already given for me 30 degrees. I can resolve this angle into the components right now. So if I resolve this one right now, this one will become for me 30. So this one will be M1G into your cos 30. And downward direction, this will become for me M1G into your sine of your 30 degrees. Now write the equation for this one. I'm writing the equation for this one as the body is moving down. M1G into your sine 30 minus the tension T must be equal to your M1 into your acceleration E. M1 is given as √3, so it is √3 by G minus of your T is equals to right now. M1 is equals to √3 into your E. So this is my equation number 1. The same way if I'm taking an FBD for M2. FBD for your M2. So this is your diagram right now. This angle is given how much for me? Or 60 degrees. Okay. Now what all the forces are acting on this body means there is one block on this one. This is nothing but of your M2. There is a normal acting on this one. This is nothing but of your normal M2. And this body is moving in the upward direction with an acceleration. Weight of the body is acting in the downward direction. That is nothing but M2 into your G. So what are the forces right now? Along this direction if I'm taking and along this direction. Okay. So this will become for me again 60. So this will become for me M2G into your cos 60. And this will become for me M2G into your sin 60. Just write the equation. As the body is moving up, there is a string connected to this one. So this will be a T because this is a total string connected for this one. So tension will be equal to how much? Equal to tension T on T. There will be one tension here T. This is one tension T. This is one tension T. I'm just making FBD and simplifying. As the body is moving up, what will be the equation for this one? Tell me the equation. T minus of M2 into G into your sine of your 60 is equals to M2 into your T. So this will be T. Sorry. This will be your T. Yeah, so this will be your T minus M2 is nothing but 1 into G value is nothing but G itself. This one will become for me root 3 by 2 is equals to 1 into your A. This is equation number 2. Now adding one equation 192, I can get the value of your tensions. So from 192, we can get the value of tensions. Once you get the tension, then force exerted on the pulley beta. That is very important for me. Where is the pulley right now? See, this is the pulley. On the pulley, what are the forces acting? One force is a tension T in this direction. Another force a tension T on this one. That's it. The resultant force on this one is nothing but a fair FR. Take the component of this one. So F resultant will be, this 2 will be equal to how much for me? 90 degrees. So that will become for me root 2 times of T. Whatever the value of T you will get, you substitute in this one. That will give me the answer for the given question. I hope you can do such type of questions. Okay, na? Sure. See this question, beta. Two blocks A and B of same mass, A and B of same mass M attached with a light spring or suspended by a string. Stop. Find the acceleration. Find the acceleration of block A and B just after the string is cut. Just after the string is cut. This is a given diagram. This is your string here. We have got a block here right now, M, and in between there is a spring. And here one more, we got a block of mass M. This one is A and this one is B. This is a regular question. Even so many times we have been seeing such type of models in the NEET examinations. The only thing is you need to get very clear-cut idea how to make an FBD. That's very important for me. That's it. So now tell me on your B and on your A, what are the forces acting? On your B, if I'm taking FBD of B, tell me what are the forces right now? The weight of the body, M into G in the downward direction. So tension in this one is, say, for example, T naught. Okay, now free body diagram of your FBD of your A, if I'm taking. So this is your block, this is your string. So on a string, there is a tension T anukunna. Weight of the block is right now mg. Spring force is in the downward direction, that is T naught. So T will be equal to how much for me? Mg plus of your T naught. So that is equals to how much for me? 2 mg, because T naught value already I got equal to how much? This T naught will be equal to your M into G in equilibrium, isn't it? So this is my equation number 2, and this one is my equation number 1. Isn't it? So I got roughly the relation between them. So capital T and as well as this is a tension in the string. T naught is a tension in the string. Now see, when the string is cut, tension capital T will become 0. But the spring does not change its shape after cutting. So same spring force on the mass of your M, again withdraw the body. So after cutting, if I'm writing, after cutting, tension T will become 0. T naught will not change. Isn't it? Now see an FBD for this one. How do you write it after cutting? FBD of your B, if I'm writing. Number B key. The weight of the body is no doubt M into G. The tension in this one is nothing but T naught. That is nothing but of your mg. Isn't it? So what will be the acceleration of your B? T naught is your mg, because it is right now falling now after cutting. So this is an acceleration of your B. So acceleration of the B is how much for me? Here the force same, here the force same. So acceleration of the B will become for me 0. The same way if I'm taking FBD for you. FBD of your capital A. Now see, on your capital A, only the force is the weight of the body in the downward direction, and the spring force, that is nothing but T naught. That is nothing but 2 times of T naught value is how much for me? Mg. This one is your mg. That means this mg plus of your T naught must be equal to, this body is moving down with an acceleration here now. So that will be equal to your m into acceleration of your E. So whatever is an acceleration of your A, that will be equal to, right now, this will become for me 2 times of your mg is equal to m into acceleration of your E. So this m gets cancelled. So acceleration of A will become how much for me? 2g. In which direction? Downward direction. That's it. Okay, now, so spring problems will not be a problem. Based upon that one, you can do the questions relatedly and very comfortably. You can try to do it all. And force and momentum, time taken for that one, friction, blah blah conditions are also very important to do the problems better. Like say if I'm taking the small concept of your friction and trying to do, I hope everyone remembered the friction. See here, the question right now from this one is find out the distance traveled. Find out the distance traveled by the blocks shown in figure before it stops. Like say this is your D1 diagram, this one is your 10 kg, this is moving with 10 meter per second in the front direction, and this is your rough surface. Coefficient of friction here is given as mu k is equals to 0.5. Chalo, try cheyan andar. Chalo. As it is in the motion, friction will be equal to how much better? Fk is equals to mu k into normal, isn't it? So here mu will be equal to how much better? Mu s, that is equals to mu k when not mentioned anything. So mu is equals to static, that will be equal to kinetic capacity. Fk is equals to 0.5 into normal will be 10 into 10, that will be equal to 100. So it is nothing but 0.5 is 5 by 10, 0 will get cancelled. So this will be equal to 15 Newton, because on this block there will be one normal which is been acting. Weight of the body is nothing but 10g in the downward direction, and frictional force will be in the opposite direction, Fk, because the body is moving in the front direction. So now what are the forces right now during the motion? N minus of your 10g must be equal to 0, because there is no vertical motion kabatti. So therefore N will be equal to how much better? 100 Newton. So force will be equal to how much for me? Mass into acceleration. Antena. So F is equal to how much for me? Force acting on that body is given how much for me? 50 Newton. This friction will be equal to that one. So 50 is equals to 10 into your A. So A will be equal to how much for me? 5 meter per second square. This will be the acceleration. Now distance traveled is asking right now. I can use the relation V square minus of your U square is equals to your 2s. V square minus U square is equals to 2s relation. So finally, before it is stopping means when velocity is 0, that is equals to minus, if I take care, this will become for me 10. Initial velocity is 10 square plus 2. Acceleration is nothing but negative, because it is coming in the downward direction. It is reversing friction property. Distance they traveled is nothing but 5. So if I'm taking this relation, see how much I'm getting. The distance they traveled will be equal to 10. Clear? So such type of a friction concept, small conceptual questions also you should able to do. That is very important for the given questions. Sure. Even you try this question better. Tell me the answer. Find out acceleration of the block. Find out the acceleration of the block. Initially the block is at rest. Initially the block is at rest. So this is a given situation. This is your 10 kg. And here the coefficient of frictions, whatever you have been given, mu s is given as of your 0.5, mu k is given as of your 0.3, and you are applying a force on this one is 51 Newton. Okay, so see what is the answer you can give for this one. Very good question. Find out the acceleration of the block. Initially the block is at rest. We have given both static and as well as of your kinetic. You know the condition for the body to move. 0 must be lesser than or equal to static friction. This must be lesser than or equal to mu s into your n part of relation. So it is 0 lesser than or equal to fs. This is lesser than or equal to how much for me? This Newton, whatever the force you are acting right now, that is nothing but equal to how much for me? 50 Newton, because 10 and this one is nothing but 5. So now I can say that right now 51 is greater than 50. So the block will move. If the block starts moving, then we'll be getting what type of friction? Better kinetic friction. So I can write here right now mu Fk is equals to mu k into your n. So So that is nothing but 0.3 into n is nothing but 100. That will be equal to 30 Newton. Now see what are the forces acting on that one. As the body is moving in the different direction, friction is in the opposite direction. Kinetic was nothing. So it is 51 minus this 30 is equals to 10 into. So from this one I can calculate the acceleration. A is equals to 2.1 meter per second square. Okay, now if they are inclined, you must to take an angle and try to resolve it. That's it. Nothing more is been involved in this one. And to some extent, certain formulas related to circular motions are also been involved in this one. So me try to do the remaining questions related to that one. So let's say roughly I'll try to write out some formulas which you might have been already done it. If I'm talking about for the pulleys, this is say for example a pulley, and here we are having a block of mass, say for example M1, and here we are having a block of mass, say for example N2, and here it is right now fixed. So tension in this one is nothing but T. Here is also tension T. Atwood machine problem. So the acceleration of this one is equal to how much? A is equals to your M2 minus M1 into G divided by M1 plus of your M2. Tension in this one will be T is equals to 2 M1 M2 into G divided by your M1 plus of your M2. Now see, if the pulley in the system moves up with an acceleration, then what will be the given condition, beta? If pulley moves up, then acceleration will be A is equals to your M2 minus of your M1 into, this will become for me G plus A divided by, this one is M1 plus M, nothing change. And tension will become for me T is equals to 2 M1 M2 into G plus of your A divided by your M1 plus of your M. Moves up with an acceleration A anukundam. Then whatever the acceleration we give, we try to simplify and get the relations for that one, isn't it? And next one is springs connected in the series on parallel combination. Like say, if the block connections are given something like this, say for example, there is a block right now here, capital A, and there is one spring here, and there is one spring here. This is spring constant K1, this is spring constant K2, isn't it? So even if this is situation, or else if the situation is something like this, there is a block right now here, and this is your wall, and there is a spring connected to this one. These are what type of a combination, beta? K1 and this one is K2, and this is moving by displacement x in this direction, and this is also moving by displacement x in this direction. So both of them are in parallel property. So K effective here will become for me how much? K1 plus of your K. Okay. If the combination is something like this, if the combination is something like this, let's say this is one spring, and this is your another spring, and this is connected to your block of mass capital M, and you are pulled so that it moves by a distance of x. So this is a displacement x1, there is a displacement x2 in this one. This is K1, this is K2, right? So for this one, 1 by K effective will be equal to 1 by K1 plus of your 1 by your K2 part. That is one more important relation you need to remember for the examination conditions, isn't it? In the same way, if the pulleys are moving up and down and inclined, resolving, that all things you need to roughly remember and try to do the relations for that one. And if they are moving in the circular path, uniform circular motion is going to involve with the we know that delta theta will be equal to how much for me? Omega naught into T plus half into alpha into T square. The same way, V is equal to Q plus T if I'm writing, omega is equals to omega naught plus alpha into T for circular motion. The next one is nothing but omega square is equals to omega naught square plus 2 into alpha into delta T. And for S and the second, if I'm writing, delta theta N is equals to, this one is nothing but of your UT, this is nothing but of your omega naught plus that one is nothing but equal to how much for me? Alpha by 2 into 2n minus 1. Okay, now, and what are the some other formulas in the circular motion, beta? Linear velocity V is equals to your R into your omega. Tangential acceleration AT is equals to R into alpha. Radial acceleration formula omega square into R. Total acceleration, if I'm taking A is equals to under root of your AR square plus of your A tangential square. A tangential is also written as of your dV by dt, beta. Okay, now so you can write from the given condition right now. If I'm talking about an angle for this one, so tan theta is equals to your A tangential divided by A radial. That also one of the formula you need to remember. Centripetal force, F centripetal force is equals to centripetal force. CF is equals to, this is M into V square divided by R. That is nothing but of your M into R into your omega square in terms of your omega, if I'm trying to talk about, isn't it? So that are the some of the formulas which you need to remember for the examination in terms of your circular motion part. Circular motion also is an important area where we get some questions. So be a little bit careful related to such type of questions also. So I hope you can do such also questions. And for the strings also in the regular classes, we do a lot of your applications, but now time will not permit. So that is the reason not going much detail related to your constraints related to your strings and as well as of your pulley. So there are something which you should always remember in mind related to your Newton's laws of your motion. Okay, so this is the dark which I have to take. Yeah. Next one is faster way, work, power, energy. So in this one, constraints, relations, what do you call that, conservative, non-conservative, this all formulas you need to remember. That is very, very important for this one. I'll roughly revise the basic formulas which we come regularly in this one. First one is work done, W is equals to F into S into your cos theta. So this is something like a dot product, you know it, that one. If force is variable, we use W is equals to integral of your F into your dx part of a relation. And you know that area under the Fs curve will always give me the displacement. Next one is work energy theorem. Work done by all the external forces must be equal to your K final minus of your K initial. Or directly I can write that one as of your delta Q. The next one is of your elastic spring energy. Energy in the spring is half into K into your x square part of relation. And kinetic energy formula, you know already, power formula is equal to how much for me? Delta W by your delta T. If I'm talking about your average power. Instantaneous power gonna cross the P is equals to dW by your dt, or that is equals to F into your V. The slope of your work and time will always give me what beta? Power. It will always give me what? Power part of relation. And some of the important relations you need to remember even in this one is, this is fifth one, so this is your sixth one. Vertical circular motion. Vertical circle. Applying the law of conservation of mechanical energy. So I'm drawing it roughly here. See, this is your circle and this is your center. Initially the string, say for example, this is your bow. And here is right now, say for example, another position of your bow. And at your A, if it is having a velocity of V1, this is a position of A, and this one is, say for example, A1, here the velocity is, say for example, of your V, making an angle of your phi. Then what will be the velocity at any instant? I hope you remember it. Body is suspended with the help of what string, and if the body has a velocity V1 at the lowest position, and at any position, like say for example A1, the velocity will be equal to how much? What is the formula, you know better? V is equals to under root of V1. This one is V1 square minus 2g into length of this one, there is nothing but of your L, into this one is 1 minus of your cos, isn't it? Tension in the string, P is equals to M into V1 square divided by L minus 2 times of your mg, plus this will be 3 mg into your cos. Very important relation beta. Now to complete the circle, you already know the relation. To complete the circle, what must the velocity? V1 must be greater than or equal to under root of 5g into your L part of relation. So these are the some of the standard formulas which you should able to remember for doing the problems related to your work, power and energy part of relation. So I'm not going for much detail related to this one. In the same way, we need to also remember the force formula, but F is equals to minus of your du by your dx. Even in the, what do you call that one, NTS examinations of recently for the JEE means, there were regular questions based upon this formula. F is equals to minus of your du by your dx part of relation. So be a little bit careful related to your power formulas and as well as of your conservative and non-conservative forces for the given condition. Is it clear for everyone? Okay. Let us try to apply the work energy theorem applications and then we'll try to go for the next one. So if I'm applying the work energy theorem conditions and trying to do the problems, just fastly revise this one so that it will be recollection of your data. Like say for example, I got this one as of your sphere, which is being suspended from point O, by means of a string, and is released from horizontal position. Find its velocity. U at lowest position. Chapal answer. We got a sphere, like say for example, this is a point fix, and here is your spherical body, say for example, and it is been released so that it will come to the vertical position somewhere here. This is the length here. So this is your length here. When check it out, draw darkly. So this is your L, and it is making a path like this and coming. When it reaches to the point B, it has a velocity of area. Now tell me, what will be the velocity at the lowest position? Apply the work energy theorem. Work done by all the forces, work done by gravity plus work done by your tension in the string must be equal to your change in kinetic energy. tension and force. Force of both of them are perpendicular property. Force and displacement is in the downward direction. Work done by the tension will become for number 0. Work done by gravity means potential energy mg into L plus this one is nothing but a few 0. That is nothing but normal or tension. That must be equal to half into m into u square. Final velocity initially released property. This is nothing but 0. So everywhere mass and mass gets cancelled. So u is equal to how much? Under root of 2g into L. This is how we are applying the law of conservation of your, what do you call that, work energy theorem application basically, isn't it? So let me give you one more question so that you can do it out more better way. Like say for example, find the work done. Find the work done by applied force. Find the work done by applied force by slowly bringing the rod to the inclined position. This is a given diagram right now here. This is your rod and here it is fixed. Slowly it is being brought to the inclined. When I'm using the word slowly means acceleration is almost all 0. So this one theta is equals to 60 degrees. Length is equals to 1 meter. Mass of this rod is equals to 5 kg. And you are applying the force on this one and bringing it like this. So this is your force applied. Find the work done by applied force by slowly bringing the rod to the inclined position. So that is a given question. See, anyone can try to do it. Same, applying the law of conservation of mechanical energy and trying to do. Work done by all forces must be equal to what? Change in kinetic energy. Now see, when you're taking this one from here to here, you know that center of mass will be rising. I hope you remembered it. The center of mass of this one is somewhere here. When you take it, it will go to right now this portion. So this is actually the condition. So the center of mass has been raised by how much for me? X something. So center of mass means this is nothing but of your L by 2. So X will be equal to how much better? This is L by 2 minus. If I resolve this L by 2 into components, this will be equal to L by 2 into cos of your 60 degrees. So that will become how much for me? 1 by 4 meters because L is equals to 1. So that is equals to 0.25 meters. So shift in the center of mass is by how much? 0.25 meter. That is very important for work done by all the forces. Work done by normal plus work done by the what do you call that one? Applied force, whatever you are trying to take it out right now. That is nothing but of your gravity plus work done by your F applied must be equal to change in kinetic energy. So work done by all the normal forces. Any normals sorry. One normal is in this direction, that is nothing but of your nx, and one normal is in the upward direction, that is nothing but of your ny. So I can write here work done by normal means this is nothing but ny raskuntan ikkada, and in the same way here work done by your n into x. This work done by all these forces will be equal to how much better for both the cases. If I'm writing, that will become for me 0, isn't it? So this is 0. Work done by gravity are going against gravity minus mg into height to which it has been raised 0.25 plus work done by your F applied force must be equal to slowly gravity change in kinetic energy will become for me 0. So when you are bringing it slowly, so force applied, work done due to your force applied will be equal to 5 into G value is 9.8 into your 0.25. So that's it. That will give me the answer for the given situation. I hope you can do such type of equations comfortably. So that are some of the areas where you need to do the problems. See this question better. Find out the work done. Find out the work done by spring force. Find out the work done by the spring force from A to B and B to C. B to C. X is equals to 0 is position of natural length. Position of your natural length. Okay. So I'll give the diagram right now, you see. So here is your block and here is your spring. Okay. K value of this one is given as of your 100 Newton per meter. You please try to do it out better. I'm giving the values right now here. So this is the position of your A. This is the position of your B. And this is the position of your C. So this one is x is equals to 0. This one is x is equals to 0.1. And for A, x is equals to 0.2. As a given diagram. X is, it is natural length beta. It has been gone from C to B by 0.1. From B to A, it is nothing but of your 0.2. At A, the distance is 0.2. What is asking? Find out the work done by the spring force from A to B. A to B, this one. Chalo, try to do it out. Can anyone give me the answer? Find out the work done by the spring from A to B. Spring constant is being given. Chepayala. Work done by the spring to go from A to B will be what? U initial minus U final. Initial is equals to half into K into this one is nothing but 0.2 whole square. Finally, it is half into K into this one is 0.1 whole square. Isn't? So that will become for me how much? Half K common. 0.2 is nothing but a 2. This is nothing but 1. So that will become for me 3/2 joules. K value is already given for me 100 కాబట్టి. So it is 3/2 joules. Similarly, if I'm talking about work done by the spring to come from B to C, from your B to C, you should be getting as 1/2 joules. I hope you can do such type of equations. Sure. If I give you a question like this, like say U is equals to x square plus y. Potential energy is given right now. Calculate the value of your force. F is equals to your how much? F is equals to your how much? Can anyone? U is a function of x. So fx is equals to minus of your dou u by dou x, partial differentiation. So that if I'm doing right now along x-axis, that will be equal to, it means it will read only the term which has been associated with your x. So this will become for me how much for me? Minus, this one is a 2x plus of your 0. So that is minus of 2x. Same way Fy. If energy is given, if it's asking that force, Fy is equals to minus of your du by your dy. U value ante chud manaku already U value is given for me x square by y. It will read only the y term in this one. So if it is your y term means what can be the relation for me? Can you tell me right now for this one? It will read only the y term. So it is x square plus this is y. This is also y square beta, sorry, not only y. So it is x square plus of your y square. So if I'm differentiating that one, it will read only the y term for this one. That means this is also minus of your 2y. The x term will become for me 0. So that is also minus of 2y. So force acting on that one will become for me minus of 2x into I cap minus of 2y into your j cap. Y una kuda will be nothing a problem. We'll be getting only the value of your x. That's not a problem basically. Okay now? So you should be in a position to do such type of equation. Equilibrium position, stable equilibrium position, mechanical energy conservations, that all you need to just revise it in the faster way basically. Okay now? So this is something related to your work power and as well as of your energy. Next one is if I'm going for we'll make one more session in the afternoon better if it is possible for the remaining topics again for 2 hours, 2 to 4 or something like that. Center of mass, rotational mechanics, gravitation, SHM, 3-4 chapters we'll try to do because I'm having one more class which is to be taken. So we'll come back again in the afternoon. If you are interested, you can just come and try to sit and revise the collision questions, some of them, center of mass, oscillations, and gravitation questions. And in night, we'll be trying to do once again the heat and thermodynamics. So first year part, I'll be trying to take care in meanwhile, try to revise your second year modern physics, wave optics, ray optics, and as well as of your waves part. Okay. Sure. I'm taking leave beta.